Hello and welcome to the Rochester Insurance Guys podcast. My name is Nicholas Kolb. I am the marketing manager at Lawrence Associates Insurance Agency in Rochester, New York. And today I'm joined with Jeremy Now, the sales manager at Lawrence Associates. Before we get started, a quick background on the podcast. This is a new podcast that we are launching for the insurance agency. A quick 5 to 10 minute podcast each week, and we're going to release topics for insurance to help you simplify insurance and make insurance more understandable for you. And in turn, we hope that that's everything we do at Lawrence Associates. We want to make everything as simple as possible for you, the customer. So I'm joined by Jeremy Now. He is, like I said, the sales manager at Lawrence Associates. Jeremy, why are we doing this podcast?
Well, there's quite a little bit of a disconnect out there as far as understanding some of the terminology, understanding your coverage options when it comes to insurance. And like you said, we're here for our insureds, and we want to make sure that they're educated and making great decisions on their coverage. So we're there for them in their time of need.
So today we're going to talk about auto insurance, and it's something that everybody has. It's actually the law to have auto insurance, and we're going to get into the minimums and the maximums and whatnot. But for the listener, Jeremy, can you give us a quick background? What is auto insurance?
Auto insurance is coverage for your vehicle when you're in an accident. So there's a multitude of different options when it comes to liability limits and coverage. In New York State, like you said, they are required to have insurance. Number one, the minimum deductible or the minimum coverage is $25,000, $50,000, $10,000, which means that you need $25,000 worth of coverage per accident or per person per accident, $50,000 per accident or what is considered occurrence, and $10,000 worth of property damage each accident that you may be in.
But Jeremy, I'm a safe driver. Why do I need insurance? I've never had a ticket. I've never had accidents.
Well, you need insurance for a multitude of reasons. Even if you're not at fault in an accident, there are people out there that are what's called underinsured. And, if they're underinsured, say they have the minimum limits and your vehicle is worth $50,000 or even higher, they're not going to be able to cover your needs, especially if you have medical expenses due to the damage in the accident.
Now, on an insurance policy, there's liability insurance. Can you talk about that? What is liability insurance?
Liability insurance is when you're at fault in an accident. So, if, say, you're texting and driving and you roll through a stop sign and hit somebody. Now, I know most people are advised not to do that.
I would never do that. I have Apple CarPlay.
Yeah, you do voice texting instead of actual texting, right? So,
that's right.
So if you're at fault in an accident, that's where your liability comes into play.
So I do get in an accident. Somebody rear-ends me. What is the process? What is the claim process of that?
Typically, the claims process is you take your carrier or your provider. Now, Lawrence Associates is a broker, so we work for you in regard to finding you the best coverage at the best price. Within that, there are carriers out there that, say, New York Central Mutual, you would either go and call their toll-free hotline for their 24-hour claims, or you could go into their website and submit a claim online.
Now, what if it's not my fault? Like someone hits me. Do I still have to pay?
It like I said, it depends on their coverage.
Okay.
So if they're underinsured, you may have to pay. You may have to come out of pocket. But typically, if you're not at fault, what you need to do is make sure that you take the proper steps in regards to notifying the proper authorities, collecting their driver's license, their license plate, collecting their insurance policy number and their coverage, so that when you go in to get estimates for getting your automobile fixed, you have all that information and you can contact their insurance provider for that.
Now, what if it's a hit and run?
Well, if it's a hit and run, I hope you're calling the cops.
So the first thing for the listener is you would have to call the police, file a police report.
You should definitely call the police, and hopefully if it is a hit and run and you're in the vehicle when it happens and it doesn't happen in an empty parking lot, that you're able to get their license plate number so that the police will be able to track them down sooner. And at the same time, hopefully you can flag down a bystander that was a witness as well.
Now, if you can't do any of that, you are 100% liable for the insurance then.
Correct. So if you can't do that, you're going to have to file a claim with your insurance company if you can't track them down.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have to pay your deductible for your insurance and file a claim and get it appraised and fixed.
Now, what's a tip you could give to a listener about how to save money on your auto insurance?
Well, there's a few different things that you can really do. I know younger drivers really have an issue with their insurance prices, and a lot of that's just based upon how long you've been driving, especially for younger drivers. But one thing is to make sure you have a good credit score. Take care of your driving history. Making sure you're not getting tickets, making sure you're always wearing your seatbelt. Little things like that, they stay on your record for a while, and you want to make sure that you're as clean as possible so that your rates are staying where they need to be.
Great. And if a listener has a question for the podcast, you can reach out to Jeremy at LawrenceAgency.com. Is that right?
Yeah, you can reach out to us there. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram at RocInsGuys, or on Facebook at Rochester Insurance Guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to the podcast, and we'll see you next time on the Rock Insurance Guys podcast, sponsored by Lawrence Associates.